after Franklin once they graduate. So a big welcome to Brandon, Emma, Emily, Amy, and Hannah. Before we get to that, guys, though, I'm just going to do a little bit of what I like to call a bit of housekeeping, because as you may have seen all over social media and our website, we do have loads of things in the works, and loads of things planned here at Franklin Sixth Form College. Coming in the coming weeks, in the upcoming academic year, and also once the lockdown restrictions lifted as well. So we've got loads of plans. Abby, are you okay just to share the PowerPoint for me? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up now.
No worries. The first thing we'd like to talk to you about, guys, you may have seen it on BBC News, even it has been, got into the national media, is our new level 2 extended provision, which we are calling 3 years at Franklin. So this is, we're really pleased and proud to announce this offer to support students who may need a little extra time due to disrupted schooling because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And this, extended provision just, allows students to be fully supported, students who may need an extra year to ensure the best level 3 outcomes as well. So that is why we are offering this extended provision. So on this 3 years at Franklin, you are able to do that, in your first year, you are able to take your GCSE English and Maths, as well as study one of our fantastic level 2 courses alongside, you retaking your GCSE English and GCSE Maths. And this will make sure that you are fully prepared for moving on to a level 3 program. So it can support students who want to progress on to higher education, higher level apprenticeships, or straight into employment. So the 3 years you're at Franklin will really make sure that you are able to, fulfill your academic potential. So yeah, we're really proud of it. We're really happy with it as well. And if you've got any questions about it as well, guys, then please feel free to pop those in the chat. Excuse me. Just to give you a little bit of a rundown as well, we do have 2 new courses as well as on our level 2 program. One of them is travel and tourism. So if you have a passion for travel, you want to explore some of the weird and wonderful tourist destinations all across the globe, you want to pursue a career in the travel and tourism industry, then this is definitely the course for you. We also have our level 2 public service course as well. So if you're interested in investigating crime and its effect on society, you want to learn about different cultures and the world we live in. If you have an adventurous side or you're interested in health and fitness, again, this is the course for you. So we're really happy to offer these 2 new courses. In addition to that, we also offer creative media. So if you have a passion for filmmaking, you want to be a YouTube content creator or a social media influencer, anything like that, or interest in photography, then again, media will be definitely the way you want to go. We're also offering IT and computing. So if you're a computer whiz, you like coding, HTML, you want to get to learn, the very basics of that, leading into a level 3 program. If you want to explore different components of different devices, again, this will be the course for you. We also have business. So if you're interested in, marketing and financial management, that might be a course for you. And finally, we have our new level 2 health and social care course as well. So if you're interested in developing, your knowledge and your understanding required by professionals in the health and social care sector, again, this will be the course for you. So we're really happy to be able to offer this, guys. Like I said, if you've got any questions about it, because it is very, very new, please feel free to put those in the chat and we'll do our very best to answer those for you. So that is 3 years at Franklin. Here's another big one for you, our Franklin Festival, which is set to take place Tuesday, the 29th of June. So after the lockdown restrictions have been lifted, of course, we will still have things in place for students. So if they do want to wear a mask and we all have like hand sanitizer and things like that, then you are more than willing to do that. We just want students to feel very comfortable, very positive in this environment during the festival. It is the first of its kind, the first time we've ever done anything, of this kind of scale before at Franklin. It's kind of like an early freshers fair. We're going to have loads of stuff going on. It'd be a fantastic way for you, for us to welcome you into the college, to see everything that happens, on a daily basis. You get to meet all your tutors, staff. You get to look around all the different departments, and we're getting a lot of external people in as well who are going to do some really cool, fun activities. But it's an opportunity for you guys as applicants, as Year 11 students, and your parents or carers, to have a look around the campus, have a look around, our resources and our facilities, and just ask all the questions that you want to ask, and everything that you want to know about Franklin. We will do really, everything that we can to help you with that. So yeah, like I said, we've got live entertainment. We're going to have curriculum tasters, activities, games, brilliant food, brilliant refreshments, and hopefully, yeah, no, do you know what? We're going to guarantee you will have the best day at Frankfest as well. So there's more details to follow. We do have something on our website about that. But if you do have any more questions, just bear with us and keep an eye on our website and our social media channels, and also your personal emails as well. And we'll be sending you loads of information out about that, about how you can book on, and more information regarding the day as well. Following on from that, we do have our Taster Days. So this is scheduled for the week after, oh no, sorry, 2 weeks after. So this is the 8th and the 9th of July of 2021. And again, this is just to follow Frankfest. And again, it's a great way for you guys to experience college life before joining us in September. On the Taster Days, you will experience again the college campus and the classrooms. You'll be able to come in, have a look around our resources and facilities. You know, you can have a look around, you know, our Mac rooms, our studios, our gyms, our sports hall, you know, everything that you want to look around. You are more than welcome to do that. You get to meet our fantastic staff and your future teachers as well, you know, and get introduced to them. And more importantly, you're going to get to, you know, kind of test out your courses as well. So if you've got 3 or 4 courses on your study program, you know, and you're unsure about which ones you definitely want to take, this is a fantastic day to make sure that you are choosing the right study program, the right courses that are for you. And just lead on to the next point, this is where you will finalize your study program. You'll also get to find out what life is like as a Franklin student as well. So you will get the full experience. You know, you get to spend time here kind of socializing as students do on a daily basis, as well as testing out your subjects and meeting staff. And of course, meeting new people as well. Our Taster Days, we have people from every single school in the area as well. So making new friends, socializing with people you haven't socialized with before. It's going to be a really, really cool day for you, both our Taster Days. So Frankfest and Taster Days, 2 very, very important dates that you definitely want to put in your calendar. Leading on from that, we then have enrollment. So we're doing it a little bit differently this year, just to kind of suit all of the applicants and just to offer more availability. So we are doing it across 2 kind of periods of days. So as you can see at the bottom of your screen there, we have 2 save the date kind of periods in time. We have the 12th to the 16th of August, and also the 25th to the 27th of August as well. And we will contact you regarding your enrollment at a later stage and kind of inform you which date you need to attend. So following results day, you'll be invited to enroll in your courses. We'll offer you support with enrollment, plus information, advice and guidance on course choices and the choices that you've made, and also professional careers advice as well. So if you're kind of unsure about what you want to do in the future, or you need that advice about what courses to kind of complement each other to get on your chosen career pathway, we'll be more than happy to do that. So you will be fully supported, so please don't worry about a thing. But like I said, full details will be sent at the end of July, with the option to attend either a mid or late August enrollment date. So I know I went through that all really quickly, but like I said, if you've got any questions about 3 years at Franklin, Frankfest, Taster Days, enrollment, please fire away, guys. If there's quite a few questions coming, then we might struggle a little bit and have to wait until the end of the event. But please bear with us, and we will definitely get back to you. But no, loads of really exciting things happening at Franklin College over the next few months. But without further ado, I'm going to pass over to my wonderful colleague Abby, who's going to introduce you to Emma, Emily, Amy, Brandon, and Anna. And they're going to go through all of their experience at Franklin Sixth Form College. So thank you very much, guys, and I hope you look forward to listening to these guys. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I know Jamie's already said that, but we do really appreciate you joining us this evening, and so do our students that are joining us tonight. And I guess that's all what you're here for, really, to hear about their experiences, what they do at Franklin, what they enjoy, and also some sort of extra things in there as well. So how I'm going to start this evening, I'm going to ask each of our students to introduce themselves, and then we're just going to have a little bit of an interview situation where I'm going to ask students questions and they're going to give me some answers to give you an idea of what life at Franklin is like. If you do have any questions relating to the answers that the students have given, please feel free to pop those questions in the chat function, and we can happily ask the questions to the students directly throughout our conversation as well. So don't feel like you have to wait until the end. So without further ado, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get our students to introduce themselves, with the name, let us know which school they used to go to previously, what they're studying at the moment and what year they're in, and then if they're involved in any of our enrichment opportunities as well. So I'll start with Emma, if you'd like to introduce yourself for me. Are we there, Emma? No. Well, if we try with Emily, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So my name's Emma Hodgson. I went to Bayscath School. I'm in year 12, so that's first year at college. I take public services and criminology, and I'm involved in sports leaders.
Fab. So next up, if Emily, you'd like to introduce yourself for us.
Hi, so I'm Emily. I went to a private school in Mallorca in Spain, and I did English Lit, Spanish and photography for my A-levels, and I'm currently doing the Art Foundation course as well.
Fantastic. So next up, we've got Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy and I'm in my second year at Franklin. I came from Torbar Academy and I do A-level biology, psychology and chemistry. And I'm also part of the Career Academy programme doing the health course.
Fab. Brandon, if you'd like to introduce yourself for me.
Hello, I'm Brendan. I'm in first year at college, so year 12. I went to Oasis Academy, Wintringham, and at A-level, I'm currently doing A-level English Literature, A-level Law, and A-level French. For enrichment, I do High Flyers and Career Ready in the law sector.
Fabulous. So last but not least is Hannah, if you'd like to introduce yourself. Have we got Hannah? I'm not sure if Hannah's been able to make it. Not to worry though, we've still got 4 fantastic students who will be able to help us this evening. So without further ado, I'm going to start asking some questions. So I'll start with the first question. Why did you guys choose Franklin? Brandon, if you want to tell me a little bit about why you chose Franklin.
Well, first of all, it's because I could take 3 A-levels here. I know, like Grimsby, they don't offer 3 A-levels from what I know, and definitely not from the combination of courses that I do. And also, when I was in year 11, I got introduced to their High Flyers program there. So that kind of swayed me definitely towards more Franklin.
Perfect. Do you want to explain to me what High Flyers is, just for anybody who doesn't know?
So the High Flyers is for students who got really good grades at GCSE. They're looking to go on to Russell Group unis, stuff like that. And the High Flyers offers a lot of involvement with like Oxbridge universities. We've had many talks with them. It offers an EPQ, that's a compulsory part of the programme, which is an extended project qualification. So that's basically just a humongous essay on whatever you want.
Perfect. So, Amy, do you want to tell me a little bit about why you chose Franklin? Obviously, you went to a school which had a sixth form option. What made you choose us over progressing into your sixth form?
So when looking around the different options, Franklin really did stand out for me. Everything from the atmosphere, the staff, the working environment, everything was just perfect for what I wanted to progress onto. And I am so happy that I chose Franklin because I think it has been the best experience I could have ever asked for. Even with COVID restrictions, it has still been amazing. And it has been hard work with the A-levels I do. They are very a lot of content to learn, but Franklin it's been so much more than just sitting in a classroom and learning. It's been about building you up to be the best that you can be and to help provide you every opportunity. And not only that, the staff as well are incredible and they are so supportive. And they've really, really been there for me and guided me through this experience. And then they've also helped me to progress onto applications for uni and to make sure I get the grades that I needed. So yeah, I could not recommend it anymore. It honestly is just amazing.
Oh, lovely. It's always nice to hear that you're sort of getting that support. Is there anything that sort of stands out that you particularly enjoy about Franklin and coming to college?
I think one of the main things that I can think is all the events that get held. So things with future careers. So we've obviously got an amazing career team and they host a lot of working lunches and virtual talks and everything like that. So I think that has been one of the massive things. And again, it isn't just about sitting in a classroom and doing your work and doing your course. It is about helping you progress onto the future and helping you get to where you want to be. And it is just amazing.
Fab. So Emily, you've progressed into your third year with us now. So hopefully that means you do really enjoy being at Franklin. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what sort of things you've enjoyed over your past 3 years with us?
Okay, so I decided to stay on to do the foundation course mainly because actually I just moved from Spain, so I hadn't qualified for student finance to go to uni. So I was like, oh, I'll stay another year. And it was a really, really easy decision because I loved doing my A-levels at Franklin so much. It was like the whole 3 years I've spent at Franklin, I've looked on with like a lot of, it's been a very comfortable time for me. I've been able to grow as a person, not only in my studies, but independently as well. And I know college doesn't seem like a fun place, but it's a fun place. And I really enjoyed being here.
So you've obviously studied a little bit with us pre-COVID times. How did you sort of find that experience? Did you get involved in any trips or have you done anything like that while you've been with us?
Yeah, I have. I've been on, I went on a trip with my literature class to London to watch a play. And I went on a trip with my photography class to go to like a tour of different galleries and art museums in London. And they've always been made very accessible for everyone because I'm on the bursary. So I wouldn't have been able to afford to go, but college made it possible for me to go. So I was very lucky to have that.
That's great. So let's move on a little bit. If we have a little bit of a chat to Emma. So obviously you've come straight from Basegarth School. How do you think Franklin differs to being at school?
So I believe that Basegarth was you got given a timetable, you had to be there, and you were in every day, had to be there at a certain time, and if you weren't, you were in trouble. But at Franklin, you come in when you have your lessons, so that could be up to 3 times a week, and you come into your lessons and either home or stay in and do like independent study. And it's you have time to socialise rather than going from one lesson to another. So that's how I believe like Basegarth is different to Franklin, like different to college. So
that's really good. What about, so obviously you came from Basegarth and we know that that's not a school that we don't necessarily get a lot of people progressing from that sort of area. And we've probably got a few people here tonight who are maybe worried about not knowing people when they come to college, who they're going to sit with, who they're going to get the bus with, that sort of thing. How did you feel about that?
So Franklin's a very open atmosphere. So when you're into lessons, you probably don't know anybody. I was the only person on the bus who was in full time, and you don't know on the first bus there. On the first day, it's rather quite daunting. You're there going, I don't know anybody. So you get put into lessons, and the teachers and the sort of atmosphere encourages you to talk to your schoolmates, which then will help you do schoolwork. And then you'll go on and you'll realise that they don't have anybody. So you're there just talking to them, and then somebody else will come in, and that's sort of how little friendship groups sort of arise, because you were there for the first day, and you sort of have that connection with them because they were probably the only one in the lesson.
That's really nice to know that it was quite an easy transition to make friends when you came to college, because I'm sure that is a worry for a lot of people. So Brandon, I know that you're studying law at the moment, which is obviously something that nobody really has the opportunity to study at GCSE, and there'll be lots of people who are transitioning to Franklin, starting some subjects which are new to them. How did you find that transition? Have you found it difficult? Do you think there's lots of support in sort of moving into these new subjects?
Well, obviously, I know like the subjects like psychology, law, all of them, you don't really get an opportunity to do at GCSE, which was quite scary, going especially into my first lesson, expecting it to get bombarded with stuff that I've never even heard before. But for me, with law, it's been a really smooth transition. Like, it's quite an easy, it's quite, not, I wouldn't say easy because it's not an easy subject, but it's nice to get along with. So I've got Andy as my law teacher, and he's made it so that it's a very smooth subject. And honestly, it feels like I've been doing it for ages. Like, it feels like I've got more knowledge in that subject than I have in, say, English, which I've been doing since primary school.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a really nice transition into doing it. And I was terrified when I first was going into a subject which I've never done before, because I didn't want to go in there and make myself look like an idiot, all that stuff. But no, it's a really nice subject to get along with. And from what I've heard, that goes for other subjects like criminology, sociology, psychology.
Oh, ace. And I bet as well, it's quite nice because everyone's in the same position. So even though it's a new subject, there'll be lots of other people who feel that way. And our tutors have got such excellent knowledge, they'll be used to transitioning people and easing them into these new subjects as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it also offers... one thing that I think's really helped with going into law is there's a lot of support in that subject. Like, outside, I've gone to talks with people who are in the career path of law, through Career Ready as well, the law sector. That's a good thing to get onto if you're doing a subject that you've never done before, or it's, say, like a STEM subject, so sciences and that, because I know from friends and that is a really high jump from GCSE to A level. But with stuff like Career Ready and stuff like that, it really helps with the transition. Like, I've got a mentor because I'm in the law sector. I've got a mentor who works at Pepperell Solicitors. I've had talks with people who work at Wilkin Chapman. I've just applied for a summer internship at the council to do stuff like that. So there's a lot of support at Franklin for subjects which are very competitive if you plan on going it outside of college, if you progress that into a career, and also if it's just a subject that you've never done before. Like, at Google Classroom, I'm flooded with talks from people from all over the place.
Oh, I think it's really nice to hear from a student who's kind of totally absorbed themselves in everything that they can get involved in at Franklin, because we do offer a lot, and obviously there is more to do outside of the classroom. So it's really nice to hear how your experiences of the enrichment opportunities are also helping you with progression and inside of the classroom as well. So,
yeah, definitely, there's a lot of support.
So Amy, do you want to tell me a little bit about what a lesson is like at Franklin College? So we're all used to lessons at school and that sort of structure, but what are our lessons like? How long do they last? What's the timetable look like for a student at Franklin?
So the timetable has changed due to COVID. So pre-COVID, it was sort of 1.5 hour classes, and you'd have them 3 times a week. But during the COVID restrictions, we've been having 1 3-hour lesson and then 1 3.5-hour lesson. But before COVID, so on like the normal timetable basis, you're sort of in different blocks. So for example, if you did psychology, you'd be in, say, A block psychology, and then if you did law or something like that, you'd maybe in C block law, and it's all already pre-adjusted, and you're sort of in different blocks rather than you sort of doing every subject every day. So the sort of layout for my sort of subjects, so my sciences, we do content learning, so going through the theory, and not only that, we get to do practicals. So within chemistry and biology, we do different practicals relating to the course, which makes it really, really interactive, and all of the teachers plan the lessons, so you're not just sitting and writing, you're doing a wide variety of different tasks, all incorporating the specification that you'll need to then do your final exam. And no matter what class you do or what subject you're in, the teachers will be there for you 100%, and they go out of their way to offer extra support, whether that be after college or at lunch. So if you're needing to ask questions, then they're there and available to do that. And yeah, they are really, really amazing, and they're all specific to each subject. So they know what you need to be learning and the best way to teach you it. So not only are you learning the content that you need, but you're also learning it from the best people to deliver that content as well.
Perfect. It sounds like you've got a really good relationship with your teachers, which is always nice to hear. Emily, what's your sort of experience of lessons? Obviously, you're studying some of our more creative subjects, and I guess you maybe spend a lot of time in our art block and using the facilities over there.
So I moved from a very small school in Spain, so I wasn't used to the whole lessons, the whole kind of the way it's formatted. But I always really, really enjoyed my lessons. I had a very good relationship with my teachers. They provide incredible help. There's always so much support. And yeah, now I'm at foundation, so I'm doing art like almost every single day, which is really fun. It's nice to not have to think about the other subjects I have to do. But in each of my A levels, all the tutors and the teachers, they were all very supportive, and very helpful. But I always enjoyed lesson time because they were always interesting, something different every day. And because you didn't have the same thing every single day, it made you more interested to see what's going to happen next lesson, what am I going to learn next. So the way they format it is really, really well planned out.
Lovely. And what sort of facilities do you get to use over in our art block?
Well, there's so many facilities. I did photography, so we had a dark room where you process your film, you get your negatives, and you make photographs, and there's a process room, there's a studio. So it's really accessible, and you can go in at any time. So like if you have a free block and you have some extra work to do, you can go into the dark room. And I spent most of my first year in the dark room. And then at foundation, there's also like the Mac room with like Macs. They've all got like all software like Photoshop and Premiere and all that kind of thing. And in foundation, we have like our own 2 rooms. Like we've all got our own space with like these white walls where we can hang our work up. So it's really, really, really well. It's very accessible, and yeah, lots of space for everyone.
Perfect. And I think most sort of the art students would agree with you as well. It was a long time since I was at Franklin, but your experience sounds very similar to mine, and sort of that will become your home, that art block, if you're interested in those subjects.
Yeah.
So Emma, if you could tell me a little bit about what's the workload like at college? So I guess some people will be worried about how much work they're going to have to do progressing from the GCSEs to doing A levels and level 3 BTECs. How do you find the workload?
So the workload for college it's manageable size chunks of work. So you'll be expected to a topic, or like it's a very small topic. So it could be like a 15-minute, an hour task. And the teacher are always there to support you. So if you're stuck on something, they'll come and go into a bit more detail regarding it. And that's the reason why you have independent study. So if you are behind, because the teachers don't let you get behind so significantly that you are unable to catch up, you get given maybe a task to do, which will probably be like 15 minutes, that you can do in your independent study. So that's nice, because that means you can go into extra detail with the work, and then go back into what you're doing, so it'll give you a bit more understanding. And the workload doesn't overwhelm you. You don't get given homework every Thursday or Monday. You get given maybe a task to do as homework every couple of weeks if we're behind or the class is behind. So yeah, it's not overwhelming, but you just have to be concentrated in your lessons. Don't sort of think you can relax in lesson, because that's not what lessons are for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can socialise, they give you the time, but we're told not to do it in lessons.
Yeah, I think that's probably the key. I think we try to make things manageable for people, and as long as you keep doing it as you go along, then it will be manageable. It's when you fall a little bit behind. But like you said, the teachers are quite flexible with that, and identifying if people are a little bit behind as well. So if I can just hand over to Amy a little bit. So I'd like to talk about the support that we've got available at Franklin College, specifically the learning support. And I know Amy's got sort of some good experience of this, and actually she didn't have support at school, but at Franklin we have been able to offer her some additional support. If you could talk us through your journey, Amy.
Yeah, so whilst I was at secondary school, I just had all the normal exam conditions. But since coming to Franklin, we sort of found that in the start of year one that I was not getting as sort of high grades as I sort of should have been on. And I was struggling to finish on time and sort of read the questions as efficiently as you sort of should. And my teacher sort of noticed this and mentioned it to me and asked if I could have a meeting with the learning support staff. So I had a meeting, and we found that it did take me a little bit longer to sort of comprehend the questions in an exam setting. And so we tried out different overlays, so different colours, to see if a coloured paper would make it easier rather than just reading black on white. And it was over a period of, I think it must have been probably 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. I was having assessments, nothing too hard, so just stuff on the computer, sort of seeing if it was to do with like handwriting speed or anything like that. And within the assessments, I managed to get 25% extra time to help me in the exam conditions. So it gives me time to be able to read the question and sort of allow me to comprehend the question to then answer it. And also within the exam setting, it can make a lot of people really nervous and get quite bad anxiety. And I noticed that for me, it did make me really nervous, and it did really increase my anxiety. So I managed to get a separate room, so I'm in a room with a small collection of students rather than being in the exam hall, and that sort of eased my nerves, allowed me to perform to the best of my ability being in this small room. So it has been really amazing, and my grades have been so much better since then, because I've allowed the right sort of time and the separate room and the different coloured paper has allowed me to perform to the ability that I should be performing at. And I am so grateful that the teachers and staff supported me through that and guided me. Otherwise, I'd still be in the same position that I was at the start of the year, not being able to work at such a high standard. So
I think that's probably quite reassuring for some of the Year 11 students that are coming to us next year, especially because a lot of you won't have undertaken exams recently, so some of these concerns might not necessarily have been followed through with, and schools might not have had the opportunity to get that support in place. So we will definitely support you with that, and if you do have some needs already, we will absolutely continue to support those with you when you progress to Franklin. So we also offer another type of support, which is our financial support, and in the shape and form of a bursary, and we have got a couple of students here this evening who are in receipt of the bursary. I know, Emily, you mentioned that you've had some support with trips from the bursary. Is there anything else that you've had support with from the bursary, and how did you apply for it?
Yeah, so, well, the process for applying for bursary is really easy. It's just you go to your student Fizz page, and then they just ask you to upload a document, and you send a picture, and that's it. So I get the bursary is like I get £3.50 a day for meals, and also I get any anything that I need for photography, for example, photographic paper or film or sketchbooks. I get those for free as well, and I also get either a discount or free school trip. And honestly, it's been a massive help, and it's very easy to apply, and I would definitely recommend looking into it, because Franklin is amazing with that kind of help that students need.
Lovely. So I think, Emma, you also use our bursary, and you also use our college transport as well, is that right?
Yeah, so I use the bursary. I haven't had the chance yet to use it for school trips, unlike Emily. But I've used it for the free school meals. So recently, I got notified that I could receive, during COVID, due to the whole situation, I'm in receipt of some Aldi vouchers to help with over the half term. So the bursaries help with that, because it means that I can, my grandma's got the chance to have the money there.
That's good. And how do you find using our college transport as well?
So I use the Franklin bus, which stops about 5-10 minutes away. And it's normally £1 for people who don't use bursary. So it's £1 the way there and on the way back. So to go to college and to go home. Bursary, you get a card with the bus you get on. So mine's the Humber Brew. And I use the, and it discounts me from that thing. Removes me from paying that £1. So I show it to the bus driver and he lets me on. But you've just got to remember to take the pass, or you'll be paying £1.
Yeah, definitely. That's always the thing, isn't it? Make sure you've got everything with you. So hopefully that's quite a useful bit of information for our Year 11 students tonight. So we do offer a Franklin bus, and we do have various different routes which we'll send you information on. It is £1 each way, so it is subsidised for all students, or if you're on the bursary, then you would potentially be entitled to free transport as well. So I think really I'm kind of sort of coming to the end of my list of questions that I wanted to speak to the students about tonight. But I'd just like to kind of give our students the opportunity to just say anything to prospective Year 11s about what they wish they'd known about coming to Franklin, anything to relieve their anxieties, or any sort of top tips for progressing. Have you got any thoughts, Brandon?
Just off the top of my head, I just think that like going to lessons, stuff like that, it can be quite scary at first. I know I didn't get told much about what it was going to be like in the classroom, the structure of it. And honestly, it's not that different to what you used to. Like college is sometimes made out to be this whole different planet, but it's not really. You just go in and don't freak yourself out. Because I remember I actually lost my ID card the day before I started, and I was freaking out. Like I was fully going maniac mode because I lost this ID card and I'm going into this new scary place. And I got there and they're just like, oh yeah, here's another one. Like it's not as scary as what people think it is. And honestly, it's still like I've only just started really with all the online lessons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think you just have to remember that staff are human as well. You know, we're here to support you. If you've lost your badge, you're human. Like these things happen. We're not going to not let you on site because you've lost your badge. That's not the experience we would want anyone to have, and we won't want anyone to be stressing about that either.
No, it's a very relaxed environment. I think it's like you go in, get your stuff done, and it's quite independent as well, which I found quite refreshing because I like being independent. I like being able to work at things at my own pace. Like obviously there's deadlines for stuff, there's work that you do in class, but other than that, it's at your own pace really. And I feel like that's a really good thing as well. And I wish I'd known that because I thought I was dreading it a little bit. I was like, oh, it's just going to be like school all over again, just in a different place. But no, it's quite refreshing. You work at your own pace on everything. Everyone's there to help you. And it's a very smooth transition, and especially for me who didn't go to school for 6 months before because of COVID. And I hadn't gone to school for 6 months. I got my GCSEs. I had no idea what I was going to get because it was just based off of everything. And going into college where you're sitting your A-levels without any GCSE experience, because obviously if you're year 11, you'll be doing the same thing again. With essentially watered down teacher assessed grades, but I feel like that's another aspect that was really scary for me, like not having the exam experience, not having 6 months gone thinking I'm going to go in and not remember anything, especially because I do French, which is a language, a long time to go without a language, stuff like that. But no, I think it's because obviously we were the first year to go through to college through COVID and stuff like that. It was terrifying. I had no idea what to expect, but don't freak yourself out.
Thanks for that, Brendan. I think hopefully those words have been quite relatable to a few people, and hopefully it'll put their minds at ease. Emma, have you got any sort of final words, anything you'd like to say to our year 11 students today? You still there, Emma? Amy, what about you? Have you got anything left?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Maybe the first thing I advise for future students coming to Franklin is getting used to knowing your teacher's first name. Like, I have Peter Schofield for my public services, and the first couple of weeks I kept on calling him Sir or Mr. Schofield when actually they prefer to be called their first names. So I have Pete for public services and Holly Shipley for my criminology. So I have to say their first name.
I love that.
Thinking
That
back
piece
to
of
it now,
advice.
It's quite strange. Picture of me calling my
No, I really like that because I think these are like little things that you don't really consider when you come into college. You don't think about those things, and I remember it being a shock when I went to college, thinking, "Oh, I call them by their first name," and it is weird getting used to calling teachers not Sir and Miss, isn't it? Oh, so we have got Hannah. Sorry, I've not asked Hannah any questions because I didn't realise she was here. But just to explain a little bit, so Hannah was homeschooled prior to studying with us at Franklin. So I'm just going to hand over to Hannah just to talk about her transition from homeschooling to Franklin, if that's okay, Hannah.
Hi, yeah, so I was home educated for about 4 years before college. So I did year 7 and that was it in school. So the transition into college, the whole college staff, they made it very welcome to me, and they offered me so much support for well-being and any support that I might need during the transition. I think mine might be different to others that are home educated because obviously because of COVID, it was mornings were in college and afternoons were remote. So my transition was kind of a bit smoother than others maybe. And I think that made it a lot easier for me personally anyway, because of with the anxieties of meeting new people and transitioning into being able to do all the work at home at my own pace to being in a classroom environment and having deadlines for homeworks and stuff. But the staff, they made it so smooth and easy for me, and I just felt very welcome as a student. And all the support that was offered, it was just amazing, and I felt like I fit in straight away, and it was just great for me.
Perfect. What would you say to students? So I know somebody tonight has said that they're feeling nervous about coming to college. What would you say sort of back to, if you was looking back, what would you say to yourself to sort of relieve those nerves?
I think I made it out to be worse than it actually was coming into it. I thought worst case scenario throughout all of it, but it really isn't. Like, from what I had with experience with secondary school, it's nothing like that. The staff, they don't treat you like students, they treat you like adults. They give you that responsibility. They don't really treat you like a student teacher. You just feel like everyone there's your friend, and it's just amazing. So don't really stress about it. It is a stressful transition, obviously, but it really isn't as bad as I made it out to be in my mind. And the staff, they just treat you with so much respect, and that kind of respect that you don't get in secondary school, I think.
Perfect. So to finish off for tonight, Hannah, do you want to have the last word for me and kind of give, have you got sort of a top tip, or like the last couple have said for us, have you got anything that you'd like to let our year 11 students know?
Just, if you do feel like your anxiety is peaking or there's something that you need help with, don't stress about asking for help, because your progress coach, your teachers, anybody there, they understand that obviously it's a hard transition, and they'll help you in any way that they can, whether it's with financial support, whether it's for well-being or education.
Lovely. Thanks so much. Oh, sorry. Did you want to finish what you were saying?
Yeah, I was just also going to say, if you're feeling ill or anything, they help you get caught up with any work that you may have missed or anything like that. So just don't stress about any of the situations, because they're so welcome and understanding with that.
Perfect. I think that's really useful to know as well. Obviously, some people will have had some time off if anybody's caught COVID, and you never know when you might be poorly. So it's quite good to mention that your tutors will be there to support you as and when needed. And I feel like that's been the general theme from all of the students that we've spoken to this evening. And I really appreciate everybody sort of joining us, and I hope that they've found that helpful. So I'm just going to pass over to Jamie. We've just got one sort of final slide for you here.
Hey guys, yeah, Jamie again. Just a little disclaimer, guys, as well before we go. all the things that the students have said have been absolutely wonderful. Just a little disclaimer: we haven't paid them to say any of it. All right, it's really from their heart. Their heart is their own feelings and thoughts on the college. So a massive thank you to all the wonderful things that are said about Franklin. It makes our job so worthwhile, knowing that we are doing a great job, and we can't express enough how grateful we are to work with you guys, and look forward to the new the new cohort of students coming through in September 2021. So yeah, next event, guys, on the slide, as you can see, we do have a Career Ready virtual information evening on Thursday the 17th of June. As it says, it will be virtual because we worked out a lockdown restrictions on that date, not quite, just a few days before. So if you want to find out more about all of our Career Ready programs, and then our More Than a Classroom offer, then definitely attend that evening. If you've got any questions, guys, I know it's a lovely sunny day out there and you want to catch some rays before the sun goes in for the night. So we won't keep you too much longer, but if you've got any questions, please pop them in the chat and we'll do our very best to answer them. If you want to ask something and forget what it is, and then you remember later on, contact us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email us. Our email address is on the screen, so if you want to jot it down, guys, admissions@franklin.ac.uk. Please feel free to email us, call us as well. Our number is on our website and on our social media channels. And recently we've got WhatsApp as well. Because who doesn't have WhatsApp? Everyone's got WhatsApp now, right? So our mobile number, our WhatsApp business number's there, and you can contact us, and one of us out the team will be more than willing to help you guys, with any questions that you have or any kind of concerns or clarity that you need. But we're going to stick around for 5 or 10 minutes, guys. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat. We'll do our very best to answer them. A massive thank you to everyone, to all of our students who came tonight. So Brendan, Emma, Emily, Amy, and Hannah. We really couldn't put on these events without your help and support. So we really are grateful. Massive thank you to my colleague Abby as well for helping with this event. But like I said, guys, any questions you've got, we'll stick around for a few minutes, pop them in the chat, and if not, we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And just to add as well, our fantastic students this evening, none of this was scripted. I've thrown these questions at them and they didn't know what I was going to ask them. So they have done excellently well this evening. And if you do have any questions, they would be more than happy to answer them if you wanted to pop them in the chat.
Thank you, guys. I'm just going to play a little bit of music as well to see us out. So if you've got any questions, guys, please feel free to ask and we'll answer over the music as well. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.